Hello, everyone. Welcome to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're finishing up part 2, The Edge of the Amazon, chapter 28, and starting The City of Stone, chapter 29. Chapter 8 ends really quickly. It just pretty much is Dante, you're sitting on a stone. Stones are very rare out here. This must be, oh my goodness, it's a road! Wow, where do you think the road leads? I think it leads here. This is amazing. We're almost there. Let's follow the road and see where it takes us. And that's kind of chapter, what is that? 27. 28? I forgot. Yeah, 28, 29, right? Okay. So the next chapter, which is really exciting, starts off with Charlie and Milana and Dante canoeing through the forest still, and they get to this spot where it looks like the Thames River. And if you look at the Thames River nowadays, it's much cleaner and nicer. But if we think back 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and this might even have been 300 years ago, I can't remember, 18 something. But it was dirty and gross. Oh my goodness. There were even like dead animals floating in it down the city. Oh, and Charlie talks about how, or the book, during that time when the people in London had to heat their homes, they used coal. And so they would use the coal, and that would heat their homes or give them energy for their factories and things. But then that would create this smoke that would hang over London. And then a fog would come in and it'd grab all that smoke and just bring it down to like the city where the fog is. So it'd be like this black fog. Oh man. And the Thames River was covered or soaked in all that coal residue. And so London was just dirty, dirty, dirty city at that time. And there was a lot of disease, a lot of sickness, a lot of death. And oh man, the book said that you can tell which people lived in London because they breathe out of their mouth, because their nose was always so congested, had something inside of it, so they couldn't breathe through their nose. They had to breathe from their mouth all the time. And from the countryside, people breathed like normal. But if you lived in London, you got sick too much. So that was pretty gross. So they reach this part in the river where it turns black like the Thames. And they actually find this huge lake that's like a mile long. And it's all black water. And Milana puts her hand in it and she sees, oh, this is like from an underground spring, some hot air coming through here, or hot water coming from the ground, creating this smell and a little bit of steam coming off the waters. And so they take the canoe through this lake. And as they're going through, Charlie sees a bunch of different animals. But as they're going by, Dante says, whoa, hey, look at that. And they stop. And underneath them in the water are stones in a circle around the water. And maybe long ago, it used to be a fish pond where the water would come in and pull out all the dirty stuff. And then the fish lived in the middle. And the big fish couldn't get out because they were kind of stuck in there. And they could fish and farm the fish very easily. So they see this fish pond underneath the lake. But then they continue down and they find this bridge or walkway out of the water. And so they put their canoe and they walk out of the water, and Dante's kind of hacking around things and trying to make a path into the forest. And Charlie feels a little weird, a little scared. Something's not right, and she hears a psh, splash, and she sees this huge anaconda swimming into the water. Milana touches her shoulder and says, "Hey, it's okay. It's just an anaconda." Charlie feels a little bit better, but a little embarrassed that she felt scared. But then Dante says, "Come here, quick, look." And Charlie looks over. Oh, Dante got farther than her, and they go up and they, "Oh, we found it. Oh my goodness." And even though Charlie is used to being calm, she's so excited, and she says, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life." And that's the end of the chapter. Oh my goodness. Some vocabulary words. First, derided. Derided means to kind of make fun of or tease or say something in a bad way. So the Inca people, they didn't domesticate animals. They didn't keep animals as food like we do chickens or cows or horses. And so the other civilizations kind of said, "Oh, Inca people, why didn't you ever learn how to do that?" And so they would say bad things about them. But they didn't have cows. They didn't have pigs or something like that to do that with. So it just kind of made sense. Derided. And that was all the vocabulary I had for that chapter. But the next chapter, notorious. Famous for bad reasons. Soot. Oh, London was notorious for dirtiness and smell. Soot is after you burn a tree or coal, there's some black powder in the bottom or in the pipes. We call that soot. London was covered in soot. Oh, just thinking about it. Oh, makes me want to take a shower. Parlor. I can't remember what this was. I'm so sorry. Can you write the definition for me in the comments? Caldera is like a crater, and Yellowstone Park is one of the largest, and they just kind of discovered recently that it's like a super volcano. They thought maybe it's just like a whole bunch of little volcanoes or something, but they're like, no, it's one just super volcano. But there's all these craters in Yellowstone Park made from volcanoes. We call it a caldera. Portaging is like carrying a boat. So there are times where they've had to go through the forest and pick up the boat, walk a while, their canoe, and then put it back down in water and paddle some more. Oh, we can't go anymore. We have to pick up the boat, walk a little while. When you're walking and carrying the boat or canoe, that's called portaging. And when they get to the lake, they didn't have to do any of that. They're just nice and easy, just going through the water. Cavorting is like dancing, playing, jumping, and the monkeys. Oh no, this is the otters. The otters are cavorting, swimming and jumping and playing around. Unflappable means calm in a stressful or emergency situation. And Charlie usually is, but when she sees the city of stone, she gets excited. And that leaves us with our discussion question. What is the coolest thing that you have ever seen? You just, wow, it was so cool. What is that thing? And of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today, but thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.